Muchachos y muchachas, Marina Abramovic is a very popular performance artist known to the stars. I know you've seen her in this now viral footage of herself, Lady Gaga, under some strange session, and also that footage with her and Jay-Z swaying back and forth in some sort of ritualistic dance, but also found often in settings such as elite socialite gatherings with all sorts of celebrities, including fashion designers, actors, models, you name it. But what makes Marina so popular amongst this class of people? Many would attribute it to being her concept called the Marina Abramovic method. And although this is pretty vague and broad, I will try to explain it to you. With that being said, hold on to your butts, secure your wigs, stay right there. We're going to go through it. I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Aura. In November, Duke University published this 12-month-long study investigating data broker websites that sold U.S. military service members and veterans' personal information. Researchers first identified hundreds of U.S.-based data brokers' websites legally advertising the sale of military and veterans' personal info. Next, researchers set up a .asia domain and email address and contacted the U.S. data brokers attempting to buy data on U.S. military personnel and their families. They accepted. And scary enough, these are some of the findings of this investigation. The US-based data brokers sold the researchers the name, home address, email, cell phone, marital status, homeowner status, estimated home value, interest in charitable donations, and more for 10,000 servicemen and women as little as 12 cents a record. They also offered medical conditions, financial situation, credit score, political affiliation and religious identity, gender and sexuality, address and contact information, children and families, hobbies such as gambling or international travel, and other sensitive information along with detailed geolocation data. Based on your phones, these data brokers know where you move and sell that information. Geolocation data presents huge risks. Foreign actors could use location data sets to stalk or track high-profile military or political targets. These movements could reveal sensitive locations such as visits to places of worship, gambling venue, a health clinic, or a strip club or gay bar, which again could be used for profiling. Active duty military personnel, veterans, and their families and acquaintances are massive risks of profiting, blackmail, targeting with information campaigns, and more. We are under attack. Foreign organizations are not just targeting servicemen and women, they're targeting all of us. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety tool that can identify these data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. Let Aura handle it for you. Aura is a US-based company with 100% US-based customer support staff that's available 24/7. And Aura does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats that you can't see. Aura also offers credit and identity monitoring, antivirus, VPN, password management, comprehensive parental controls, and more. Get everything at one affordable price. And the peace of mind knowing that plans include $1 million of identity theft insurance for each adult, up to 5 adults in a family plan. Go to aura.com/NatalieDenise to get your first 14 days free. It is a product that I trust. Marina Abramovic herself has drawn lots of attention she probably never anticipated receiving. One has to wonder why she attracts so many A-list friends and how their network is so vast worldwide, especially observing the cadaverous, gruesome work she puts on display. Her access gives her the ability to put on lavish and expansive events, inviting multidisciplinary elites of many industries. And why would they be interested in this? I mean, for example, it is rumored Not confirmed, nor am I saying it's a fact, but rumored that she was friends with some people in Washington whom she invited over for, we're just going to call it a cooking party of many spirits. Yeah, we'll just call it that. These were no interns. These were full-on, very well-positioned political officials. Anyway, she invited him over for a dinner party. And well, yeah, if you take a look at what these cooking parties of many spirits look like, you'll understand why the public is so frazzled and curious why so many would flock to her. The Marina Abramovic method is not easy to explain. It's pretty broad, it's pretty vague, but we're going to try to boil it down for your understanding here, especially why so many celebrities and elites are so attracted to this whole performance art or method. But to boil it down, it's pretty much objectifying your body to push it to limits in a pseudo-spiritual way. Let me explain. Two well-noted performances that sort of exemplified this concept was one in the 70s called Rhythm Zero, where she presented her body for use and abuse. She surrounded herself with 72 objects, okay, and simply quoted by how they were to be used by the exhibition attendees. These are 72 objects on the table that one can use on me as desired. The me is Marina Abramovic. I am the object. During this period, I take full responsibility. Thus, for a period of 6 hours, visitors were invited to use any of the objects on the table on the artist, who was Marina Abramovic, who subjected herself to the treatment. Marina stated, "The experience I drew from this work was that in your own performance, you can go very far, but if you leave decisions to the public, you can be caged."
You know, what we are witnessing here is the main gallery of the biggest show of my life and the 55 years of my career. Kind of big deal.
Because at the beginning of your career, you know, people were saying performance art isn't art. Now here you are. I guess you've made it, it's the mainstream.
You know, there is a wonderful statement that I always like of Gandhi. The first, they ignore me. The second, they laugh at me. The third, they fight me. And then I win.
As with many Abramovic's works, themes surrounded the physicality and the body endurance, pain, and staging of the authentic live actions that are dealt with in an experimental way, incurring a degree of personal risk and suffering. So in 2009, she then again threw herself into experimentation with an exhibitive performance at the Museum of Modern Art, the MoMA for short, and called this exhibit "The Artist is Present," which involved her sitting and staring into the eyes of exhibit visitors in a meditative state. So I think you get pretty much the gist of what this Marina Abramovic method is, pretty much pushing your body to such extremities where you are objectifying it for these extreme conditions that are not necessarily everyday conditions. Now, I get it. We kind of do this with exercise, right? People might build their endurance by going for long runs. They might lift heavier weights, things like this. I think that is completely different than kind of subjecting your body to these like really extreme situations that are not of the norm, or you won't it's not of the usual that you would be utilizing it in an everyday sense, right? So that is a boiled down explanation of the Marina Abramovic method. Now, how does this apply to celebrities? That's a good question. So there seems to be some existing logic behind these methods. And although this isn't exhaustive, these are some really good examples that exemplify what the logic could be that are sourced from theartstory.org. Slow motion exercise. For the entire day, do everything slowly. Walking, drinking water, showering. Peeing in slow motion is very difficult, but try. Feeling energy. With your eyes closed, extend your hand in front of you towards other participants. Never touching the other person, move your hands around different areas of their body for 1 hour, feeling their energy. Walking backward. Walk backwards for 4 hours, holding a mirror in your hand. Observe reality as a reflection. Long walk in landscape. Start walking from a given point, proceeding in a straight line through the landscape for 4 hours, rest, then return along the same route. Blindfold. Leave home and go to the forest where you are blindfolded, then try to find your way back home. Like a blind person, an artist needs to learn to see with his or her whole body. Does that sound familiar to you? So a little later, I really do want to break this whole encounter down, but for the sake of demonstrating Marina Abramovic method, let's just take a look at this old clip where you can observe Lady Gaga executing some methods we just described. The most obvious is her walking through the forest blindfolded and naked. Although some of the methods do describe reaching out in front of a person to feel their energy, we can take it from other exhibits of her methods as a context clue that inanimate objects also hold energy and hold some sort of source for these people. Like these crystal figures she loves to display. Here Gaga is grasping a branch and breathing deeply, so one can only assume that this is an integrated lesson of some sort. And of course, speaking of crystals, she spoons a massive one in meditation and then is covered by them in another scene. Again, reminding you that Marina is quite fond of the usage of crystals. She recently built this wall in Ukraine solely intended for meditation. Next, let's take a look at her method with Jay-Z. So this is a performance called Picasso Baby, where he performed in front of a crowd. The entire performance was actually inspired by Abramovic's The Artist is Present that she put on in 2009, 2010. The one that we just kind of went over where she was looking deeply into the eyes of the visitors. Anyway, at the beginning of this clip, Jay-Z mentions that the types of venues and the type of energy he can get out of the fans, which I found interesting. But anyway, back to the performance. It was viewed as some sort of art exhibition by random crowd goers, some of them being celebrities themselves as purveyors. Oh, look, a weird cow. Anyway, so Marina's contribution to this performance looked a bit ritualistic and began by establishing eye contact that was resemblant of the artist's present exhibition, and then swaying back and forth with Jay-Z repetitively. And then it just seems like they are kind of generating this weird energy. Like, it's not, I don't know, like, this is just weird to me, but it just seems like they're generating this like otherworldly energy with each other, and it's kind of exchanging. Guys, you can let me know what you think in the comments, but she has spent a career using her body as a medium in what she calls the performance art, and asks others to consider using theirs to become fully present in their own lives and to embrace the empowerment that results. I mean, to be honest with you, this method is pretty creepy to me. It gives me the chills, especially knowing that so many celebrities that have dabbled in the dark arts, they are enthused by this, and especially the elites that kind of promote these methods and things like this, and all the other things that we've learned about what this lady is into, i.e. the spirit culinary arts, right? I can't say it probably because I'll get, here, but it just kind of holistically, when you look at everything together, her interacting one-on-one with celebrities and them flocking to her for these methods and for these energy exchanges, it just seems a bit uncomfortable for me. So anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to overview what this method was. It does seem to be that I'll say this. It does seem to be that there is heavy dependency on her being like some sort of shaman throughout all of these little, I guess, events, right? Her looking dead in their eyes, her, kind of being this, I don't know, like this energy emission of some sort. I don't know. It's all weird stuff for me. And anyway, I just wanted to cover that really quick. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you found this interesting, that there is an actual logic and method to all this, celebrity training, and especially that Marina Abramovic and Lady Gaga video of the training session. That's what got me interested in all of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.